Scorpio, there are moments in the universe when your energy doesn't just deepen, it becomes magnetically powerful. This weekend is one of those moments. The energy field around you is vibrating at an unusually high frequency, amplifying your intuition and drawing in both opportunity and interference. This isn't just a gentle reminder, it's a necessary warning. I need you to pause for a moment and truly listen. The places you choose to go or avoid over the next few days could significantly impact your clarity, focus, and your ability to receive what you've long been preparing for. As an astrologer who carefully tracks energetic patterns, I can see it clearly. Scorpio is radiating a frequency that is both alluring and creatively potent, but also dangerously absorbent, if not handled with intention. Your inner light may not shine overtly like Leo's, but right now it runs deep, potent, and magnetic to energies seeking to attach themselves to something vibrant. And because of that, you are a target, not because you are weak, but because your energy is precious. And its very richness can invite the wrong kind of attention if you're not discerning. That's why I need to speak clearly and directly to you about the 3 types of places you must absolutely avoid this weekend. When I say absolutely avoid, I'm not speaking from superstition or vague theory. I'm speaking from the very real energetic dynamics that Scorpio is experiencing right now, a state of heightened sensitivity and intense magnetism. You are like an emotional super magnet at this time. And unless you choose your environments carefully, you may end up absorbing feelings, beliefs, or energies that do not belong to you, but the power is in your hands. Once you understand these 3 places, you'll begin to see why you've sometimes felt heavy, lost, or emotionally drained for no apparent reason. You'll realize that everything started the moment you gave your presence to a space that didn't deserve it. And when you reclaim that choice, you return to your most empowered Scorpio self, sharp, sovereign, and deeply magnetic. The 3 environments to avoid this weekend. Spaces of heavy sorrow and emotional weight. Scorpio, the first type of place you must avoid this weekend is anywhere steeped in grief, loss, or lingering emotional heaviness. That includes funerals, cemeteries, and homes, where people are moving through deep mourning or severe depressive states. Normally, you carry enough internal grounding to move through such places with your emotional field intact, but this weekend is different. Your energy is unusually open, expansive, and spiritually heightened, and that makes you far more susceptible to absorbing energies that are not your own. When your current light frequency meets overwhelming sorrow or darkness, something inside you can short circuit. Not visibly, not dramatically, but in the subtle internal ways that matter most. Your clarity clouds, your motivation fades, and your inner stillness is replaced with the heaviness that lingers long after you leave. This doesn't mean you're to abandon those you care about or become emotionally unavailable. It means you need to practice energetic discernment. If your presence is absolutely needed, then enter with clear intention. Visualize yourself surrounded by a sphere of golden light. Limit the time you spend in that space, and once you leave, take steps to cleanse your energy, whether that means a quiet walk under the sky, a salt bath, or simply time alone to breathe, release, and return to your center. Your compassion doesn't require self-sacrifice. And this weekend, the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for others is to stay anchored in your light, not drained by someone else's darkness. 2. Environments filled with jealousy, comparison, and hidden competition. The second space to avoid is one you already intuitively recoil from. Rooms where envy lingers beneath false smiles, where praise is laced with subtle undermining, and where your wins seem to make others uncomfortable. This could be a family gathering where that one relative always makes cutting comments about your life. It could be a social event where certain people never truly celebrate your growth. It could be a work environment where competition masks as camaraderie and where others quietly hope to see you stumble. Scorpio, you are no stranger to the undercurrents of human nature. You feel them before they are spoken, and you often tolerate more than you should out of grace, strategy, or emotional maturity. But not this weekend. Right now, you are emanating a frequency of quiet power, success, transformation, even the early signs of breakthroughs. Others can sense, but don't yet understand. And that kind of energy often triggers those who are disconnected from their own. When you step into envious environments in this state, two things can happen. One, your energy goes into defense mode, unconsciously shielding itself rather than flowing freely toward what you desire. Two, you begin to absorb other people's limitations, doubts, and scarcity-driven beliefs, even if they never say a word. Their energy doesn't just bounce off you, it lingers. And soon, you're questioning things you were certain about only days ago. So if you must attend a space that feels energetically off, go with strategy. Keep your conversations brief. Don't share plans that are still blooming. Protect your sacred momentum. Not everyone deserves access to the most intimate parts of your journey. Let your silence speak for you this weekend, and let your boundaries be your armor. 3. Chaotic, emotionally volatile, or disorganized spaces. The third environment to avoid may be the most deceptively common. Spaces where disorder, excess, and emotional instability dominate the atmosphere. That could be the bar everyone flocks to on a Friday night to numb their wounds, the party where alcohol flows but boundaries vanish, or the home filled with arguments, conflict, and drama that never seems to resolve. These are spaces where unresolved issues linger in the air, where people speak over one another, and where emotions are loud but rarely met with presence. And as much as you, Scorpio, have the depth to hold space for others' pain or confusion, this weekend is not the time for that. Your energy right now is refined, sensitive, and capable of deep alchemical creation, but it cannot thrive in chaos. Stepping into those environments will not make you the healer. It will only drown your intuition beneath noise. Your clarity, your most valuable tool, is at risk of being muffled by the emotional static of others. And more importantly, the frequency you are meant to hold right now cannot stabilize in places that don't value peace, depth, or truth. This isn't about judging those environments. It's about choosing to invest your sacred energy where it will multiply, not fragment. If you find yourself in such a space and cannot leave immediately, anchor yourself internally. Don't engage in emotional drama that isn't yours to fix. Don't pour out advice when no one is truly listening. Stay hydrated. Stay inwardly aligned. Know your exit before you enter. Scorpio, this weekend is not about isolating yourself. It's about refining where your presence goes, because your presence is medicine, and medicine must be protected if it is to truly heal. The gifts of protecting your energy by avoiding these three places. When you consciously choose to avoid these three types of environments, those soaked in grief, envy, or chaos, you are not withdrawing from life, Scorpio. You are actually stepping deeper into alignment with your higher timeline. What happens next may feel subtle at first, but the effects are powerful. The moment you stop scattering your energy in places that drain you, that energy begins to gather, centered, potent, and ready to serve your highest good. Instead of being caught in reaction, you begin to lead your own frequency, and in that stillness, something remarkable occurs. Your magnetic field intensifies. People who once overlooked your presence suddenly feel drawn to your calm, your clarity, your quiet command. You become radiant, not because you're louder, but because you're no longer dimming your light to fit into rooms that never deserved it in the first place. In this state of energetic integrity, insights begin to arrive, not in chaotic bursts, but in moments of clear inner knowing that seem to come from somewhere beyond logic. You'll have sudden realizations about decisions that have felt tangled for weeks. You'll receive flashes of inspiration that connect dots you hadn't noticed before. Ideas that once felt half-formed suddenly crystallize into plans you can act on. This is not magic, Scorpio. This is what happens when your mind is no longer clouded by energies that do not belong to you. Your natural psychic depth becomes accessible again. Your intuition, which has always been your most powerful guide, no longer has to scream to be heard. It speaks, and you listen. And it doesn't stop at insight. When your energy is focused and intact, life begins to organize itself around your clarity. Opportunities, real ones, the kind that shift your path, start to show up. Sometimes they come in small, synchronistic ways. An unexpected message, a meaningful conversation, a door that opens without you knocking. Other times, they arrive like waves, reshaping your entire direction. What once felt far suddenly feels near. What once felt blocked begins to move. You realize that the universe was never withholding from you. It was simply waiting for you to become available. And availability begins with discernment. With your energy undisturbed, even your outer life becomes more harmonious. The chaos fades, not because the world changed, but because your internal filters shifted. You no longer invite in what doesn't resonate. Your daily experience becomes clearer, cleaner, more intentional. The right people start to linger longer. The wrong ones slowly disappear without drama. And above all, your life starts to feel more meaningful. Not because you're doing more, but because everything you do comes from a place of alignment. You are no longer wasting time trying to make fractured spaces feel whole. Instead, you are choosing spaces that reflect your wholeness back to you. And that, Scorpio, is when your true power begins to unfold, not as effort, but as presence. The final message, protecting your energy is not selfish. It's sacred responsibility. Scorpio, let this be the truth that grounds you as you move through the rest of your weekend. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is your deepest act of spiritual maturity. You were not born to be drained by the world, to endlessly offer your essence to people, places, and problems that refuse to change. You were born to transform the spaces you enter through the quiet intensity of your presence, to inspire others not by fixing their lives for them, but by embodying a frequency so true, so unwavering, that it invites them to rise into their own. But in order to do that, your light must be intact. Your energy must remain whole. And that only happens when you choose deliberately, repeatedly, and without guilt, not to offer yourself to the things that dim you. This weekend is more than just another passing moment. It is a portal into deeper clarity. It is a window where the frequency you hold will determine what multiplies in your life. If you pour your attention into resentment, more conflict will come. If you allow yourself to be immersed in envy, you will attract more mirrors of insecurity. If you step into chaos, your inner peace will begin to erode. But if you anchor yourself in peace, in presence, in purposeful silence, if you choose spaces that honor your depth rather than demand your explanation, everything in your life will begin to align around that choice. This is what we call energy leadership. It's not about controlling others. It's not about being seen. It's about knowing that your energy is the architect of your reality and treating it as such. So before you say yes to that invitation, before you walk into that room, before you sit in that conversation, pause and ask yourself the question that will never lead you astray. Will this place allow me to shine, or will it dim my light? Not in theory, not eventually, but now, this moment, this environment. This interaction, your body will always answer faster than your mind. Listen to it. Trust the pull or the hesitation. That feeling is not weakness. It's wisdom. It is your intuitive system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Protect the power you were born to hold. Scorpio, the world does not need you exhausted. It does not need you endlessly available. It needs you clear, charged, and anchored in truth. You are not here to burn yourself out trying to illuminate the darkness in others. You are here to burn so brightly in your own frequency that others remember how to light their own flame. That is your leadership. That is your legacy. Choose your spaces wisely, and your future will meet you with open hands. And so, Scorpio, as this weekend unfolds, remember this: every step you take, every space you enter, every silence you honor or boundary you uphold, these are not small acts. They are energetic declarations. You are telling the universe what you are available for and what you are no longer willing to carry. You are no longer here to explain your intuition, to prove your worth, or to sacrifice your light for comfort that never truly comforts. You are here to lead, quietly, powerfully, from within. If there's one thing you take with you from this message, let it be this: your energy creates your life. And when you guard it with love and intention, you don't just protect your path, you magnetize everything that was already yours by divine right. The right people, the right opportunities, the right timing. It all begins when you choose yourself. So this weekend, choose wisely, walk away when it feels off, stay when it feels expansive, and never apologize for needing space to hear your own soul. Your light was never meant to flicker in rooms that do not see you. It was meant to burn steady, bold, still, and sovereign. Until next time, stay grounded, stay powerful, and above all, stay in your light.